It's HP Munchcraft back for some more Dominions. The original Dominions. I've tried a couple of times to start recording a series of this to show you, and it's crashed and burned in various ways, lost motivation, whatever. So I'm going to start with short videos, and if it turns into a series, great. And if it doesn't, then sucks to suck. So I think a good place to start is right here at the top of the menu at the Create a New Guide tab. And yeah, you'll notice in Dominions 1, this is right at the top, right as soon as you enter, the first thing you're expected to do. So I think that's actually better design than the current Dominions menu when you have to like go all the way into fucking like game tools to get to the Pretender designer. However, the downside is you have to start here because there's no in-game create a new game Pretender designer. You have to create a new god from this screen. Then, once you have your god, you can create a new game with that god. And then once you've created the new game, you can play it and play an existing game. So there's 3 steps to actually starting a game of Dominions 1. So let's step into that Pretender creation right here. You'll see the nations. Let's go through them just so you know what was in it from the beginning. Abyssia, first nation in the first game. Hell yeah. Atlantis, Pythium, Man, Ulm, Satis, Arco, Calum, Ermor, Marignan, Pangea, Vanheim, Jotunheim, Real Yay. And you'll notice no ages hadn't been invented yet. And I'm going to go with Man, because if I turn this into a series, then Man is a good one to play. I know how they work, and I know they work in this game. So let's get onto that Pretender design screen. Here are the Pretenders. You see some of them are, like, you recognize this guy. He's got an updated sprite, but he's basically the same guy. Recognize her. Yeah, great mother. It's a scuffed oracle. There's no awake, dormant in prisons. You just have your god, and your god is with you from the start of the game. So it's a bit more linear. You'll also notice these nagas, which were in the game and have been removed. You'll also notice no spell magic icons. Their magic is down here, what their paths cost. And just to let you see, look at the phoenix, it's so derpy. Just to let you see, the Manticore and some of the monsters in this game have no magic to start with, and their paths cost 50 points. Now, I understand why they got away from that, because if all monsters followed that rule, then they wouldn't be differentiated at all. They would just, the best chassis would just be the one you took, or the most efficient chassis. But I think it is an interesting design on them, and I wish they'd re-add a couple of them. Look at this guy, father of serpents. Look at it, he's just a serpent head. Like later versions of Dominions, there's some baffling points things and some things you wouldn't expect. This guy is the Moloch. He is size 5, yeah, but he looks like a fucking Gorgon or whatever. Virtue, and you see kind of how the angel pretenders were meant to go. So I'm going to be starting with the old Cyclops because it's hilarious that this thing is still in the game, and as all pretenders are in Awake, this thing makes a great Awake expander. It's fucking Earth 3, extra paths costs 50, Dom 2, it has a fist, it has a shitload of natty prot, and it has fear, which routes people pretty quickly in this game. Reasonable points cost. Enter the name of my god. Ah, yes, YouTube god. Alright, so now we're in the design screen. We could set a password. We could set our paths, and you'll notice there's no bless points, because blesses are not a thing in this game. There's just a spell called bless that gives you attack and strength. You have these beautiful like sight pictures as your path pictures, so I quite like that. But they are, your paths are just going to be your magic on your chassis and the effects they have, like earth magic increasing prot. Water magic actually gives gift of water breathing. I don't know what air magic actually gives. Oh, Prec. Okay. It's trash. Have your Dominion, which is where you take your scales, and this actually great screen that I really like that you fill as you add more candles. I think they should bring that back. Probably. This is all deconsolidated in Dominions 5. It's all like one screen. And this, castles, is you used to have to pay points for your castle. So you can look at some of these, and they're kind of weird. Like Watchtower, 25 points. It's pretty cheap. 2 turns to build a castle and 300 gold. So this is pretty great. I don't think they really had a handle. There's no commander points, so I don't think they had really a handle on how good this is. Its downsides are its defenses are bad and it has no administration. You can see the Wizard's Tower, which is still in the game differently, but it is excellent. However, it is a bunch of points, 150 points. For the Watchtower is 25. We have a few varieties of castle that are just variable points and variable types of admin, with this one being the best, strongest castle, and the other two being relatively weaker but cheaper castles. One of them is higher in defense, and the other one is higher in admin. We have a fortified city, which is quite frankly excessive, and there's no reason to really take this option. Have a citadel, which is again it's relatively cheap, but it costs a lot. And then we have the Dark Citadel, which is very cheap, but it actually just sucks ass because it has no guard towers and is expensive to build. So for this one, for man, I think I'm going to go with the I think I'm going to go with the Watchtower and just cheese it. I've tried castles in the past, but I'll just fucking cheese that shit up. Let's go for magic. Let's crank up our earth a little bit. Let's go in for Dominion. Okay, so I think being lucky is a little more important in this game, as well as growth, than it is in Dominions 5. There's your obligatory discard ping. Prod 3, very important. Order Turmoil. Order is a little bit important. Magic, of course, is always good. And there we go. So that's our god. View Magic School? Oh, this is where the research is. Alright, cool. Um, so that's gods in Dominions 1.